two subjects, I suppose.
I think we're on both, and I think what is going to make the Swedish person tick. Swedish people are so, like you said, they're in their comfort zone country, where everything is seemingly safe, and you have to conform. You have to understand that a Swedish person, if they drop something at the register of the store, they're embarrassed what people are going to think about them. So when you do a program or you channel or you highlight a person who is breaking that mold, if you break that mold in Sweden, you're a bad person. Don't think you're something. It's more accepted if you do it outside Sweden.
So that's why New York.
That's why you go here, because it's accepted, and that people love to see people that dare to break the mold.
To dare to experiment.
I mean, we have. I know people who, have friends who take people, Swedish choirs, a lot of ladies usually. They go visit African American churches to listen to black gospel. I mean, they love it. It's because they get a window of expression and something you were not allowed to do in Sweden.
Because
all of a sudden,
out of the comfort zone.
Right.
Here.
But it's okay. It's socially okay, right? Because they're watching somebody else do it, but they're for a moment part of it. I think this can be very encouraging to Swedish people. Not to and I think we shouldn't complicate it like you're saying in going too deep into TED Talk kind of thing. We could do that another time with something else. But for this, I think keep it very simple to the simple drivers of people. What did it take to do this? What were your biggest obstacles? What do you suggest to other people? What sets you apart? Why did you succeed in doing this, Frederick? How come you became this successful person? Ulrika, how come you started a restaurant in New York? Most people wouldn't even think the thought. It's a daunting task to them. But also, what was the hardest things about that? Maybe there were things that weren't so glamorous. Let's talk about those. Let's talk about the hard work, the obstacles. It's not all glamour and success. Good night. You want tips for inspiring entrepreneurs? What is the number one tip? Is a very superficial word. What is the number one advice?
Always tip 20%
Yes.
on food.
Yes.
That's a good tip.
What is your advice to somebody who just put down their suitcases at JFK to start their career in New York?
The Swedish diaspora.
That's that question.
The Swedish diaspora.
That's the last question I would ask in these sessions with entrepreneurs. And my personal answer would be, throw it back at you. Go out and eat people alive. There's nothing stopping you in New York City. There's absolutely nothing but yourself stopping you in New York City. If somebody's rude to you, leave them or eat them alive.
And I'm going to say, we have discussed briefly the idea that there is a funding, future aspiration, a funding, some sort of an enterprise that can be funded.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be an entrepreneurial gesture, because you have to have an audience on the other side. Just making things isn't entrepreneurial. Maybe innovative, but it's not necessarily
Right.
entrepreneurial, because you have to make a connection. You have to make it pay
Right.
somehow.
Yes.
You use the term monetize, but mine is make it pay somehow.
Yeah. Well, you have to make it pay. It's all investment. I mean, entire life is investment. So I think you could be more or less clear on what the payoff is going to be.
He's not an animal.
He's
I
not.
can feel it. No, he's not. He's not like that taut cat that's sitting there ready to eat the mouse that's over there. He's being more.
Whatever.
Okay, let's move on to the next. let's talk about future aspirations, either for an entrepreneur or for yourself, or however you want to do it. It's the title is future aspirations.
What was not part of the interview?
Well, I put that down because